project that we've had schemed up for a little bit of time, but we've never had a chance to really pull the trigger on it. We're headed to my house, to my shipping container full of car parts to first get the axles, wheels, tires, and then we're going to run across town and go to the other warehouse where we store our junk and kind of pick out the engine, the transmission, and then we're going to go back to the shop and try to mock it up. And hopefully by the end of the day we've got a good idea of how we want the project to look and how we want to build this car. So what we've got here is inline 6 from the 60s, early 60s probably, I don't know. Pulled this from somewhere, don't even remember. This is one of the stacks of engines. The transmission that we're going to use for this project is tucked down in there, and that's a power glide. So the first thing we're going to do is pull this out. If it'll go, that's extremely easy. I had a little forethought with this stuff when I tucked it away.
All right, so we made it back to the shop, picked up the engine, transmission, and the Model A chassis.
I don't know.
Getting ready to pull everything off the trailer and drag it over to the shop area and start mocking things up. Here's the plan for the Hoopersville Harlot. We're gonna establish our wheelbase with the 250 straight 6 and power glide mounted behind the cockpit in traditional belly tanker fashion. Then we can start building a frame. Once the frame is solidified, we're going to take the time to build our own body from scratch that pays homage to the original salt flat belly tankers of the late 40s and early 50s. But today we're going to strip down the 35 Ford suspension and get the wheelbase established so we can dig into building the frame tomorrow.
So what I'd prefer to do is unbolt it there and then unbolt it here and take this spring out of the way and try to bend these back a little bit, because to take it off all the way we're gonna have to take these bolts out here, and I just don't feel like doing that right yet. I'm gonna get on YouTube and find out how these come apart. We'll be right back. We looked online and Encyclopedia Britannica for how to properly do this, and it was going to take more than 2 minutes, so we just decided to torch it. How much is on fire? Whoopsie! Well, how about that? So bad.
Sheesh.
Alright, that gives us something to work with. I'm sure we just burn out all the structural integrity, but now we can play mock-up.
Next thing, I guess we're gonna cut these off and unbolt the leaf.
Yeah, let's get that leaf out of the way. That's obnoxious.
See what we're working with then.
All right, so here we are. Everything's kind of assembled. We've got it exactly how we described it earlier. Start at the front, I guess. We've got a front suspension. We added some steering just to kind of figure out what that's going to look like. We've got, we kept this just to sit on for a nice platform. Figured that's a decent height to start with. We've got our engine sitting here on jack stands. We've got our transmission bolted to that, and we chopped the rear off and made it kind of look like it's doable. We all agree this is kind of the wheelbase that we wanted, and this is the overall shape we're looking for. Proportions are a big thing when building cars. If the proportions are off, it's never going to look right. We know what we want it to look like when it's done, and this is where we're at right now. We just put our frame rails over here, so that's going to end up getting cut, and everything's going to be attached to it. And hopefully the next step is everything's all in one piece and it rolls around the shop.